Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode where we're going to talk about why I think gold and Bitcoin are about to boom and you need to do something about it. Now, if you look at the price history of Bitcoin, although there's only about 12 years of history of Bitcoin, every 2 years something grand happens with the price of Bitcoin. And this has been happening quite consistently for the last 12 years. Now, if you look at this graph, you will notice that around 2012 was the best time to buy Bitcoin. 2014 was the best time to sell. 2016, buy. 2018, sell. And 2020 might be the best time to buy Bitcoin according to that logic. I know past performance is never an indicator of future performance, but if these things stay the way they always have, then it's pretty inevitable, it looks like, that Bitcoin will boom. But before we take that assumption for granted, let's look at why it's probably been happening like this. This is probably down to the fact that Bitcoin has a 4-year halving cycle. Every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin that is produced every 10 minutes from mining is halved. So right now, the Bitcoin system produces about 6.25 Bitcoins every 10 minutes. They have come down from the beginning and they've reached this point. So that shows that Bitcoin becomes scarcer and scarcer every 4 years. Now, I did an analysis last year and I found out that the amount of Bitcoin being produced is now equal to the amount of gold being produced every year. The amount of gold that's mined every year is about 1.4% of the complete value of gold, of the complete gold ever mined. So that shows you that Bitcoin is now produced on as much scarcity as gold is. And this probably also shows why the price of Bitcoin has been going up and down with the price of gold lately. As people around the world expect recessions to hit the world economy, people start looking for sources of wealth that can store their value. But really, besides gold, there hasn't been anything historically for people to store their money in that can consistently hold its value for hundreds of years, if not more than that. And that's been the very reason why people have invested in gold before they think a recession is about to hit, or even during a recession. Gold is known by some as hard money. Bitcoin is now becoming quickly a substitute of that hard money, of gold money. After every bull market, Bitcoin reaches a new all-time high. And that all-time high can be relatively predictable if things keep on going according to this plot. And it looks like the next line that Bitcoin will touch is around $100,000. Now, that is completely ridiculous compared to what the price has been in the last 3 years. You will probably feel, that's how everyone felt when Bitcoin hit 20,000. It was completely unbelievable. Now, if you look at the stock to flow ratio, this is one other popular ratio that people pick on. It just basically compares how much Bitcoin there is and how much flow of Bitcoin there is into the system. So it compares how much of Bitcoin is already in the world and how much new Bitcoin is being introduced. And that ratio shows you what should probably be reflective of the value of Bitcoin at every particular stage. Now, one more reason why people probably think that a lot more US dollar is going to be printed following the US election is because after every massive recession, it's usually been the Democrats that have come into power in the US. Imagine living a whole life, a whole generation of just having one political party in place. Well, that's what happened last time around when we had such a massive recession. The only difference is that that was before Bretton Woods. Now, if you look at what the government has been doing, the US government has printed 25% of their entire money supply in a few months' time. If that can be done within 2 quarters, imagine what can be done within a whole term of a president. So this could be one reason why the market is expecting the Democrats to come into power and to subsequently print a lot of money to make the printers go brr, make the US dollar lose its value, which would mean that every other asset, especially hard money like gold and Bitcoin, would rise in value. Usually parties want to execute their new policies into law in the first couple years of coming into power, which means that whatever party does come into power, you can expect even more volatility in the next 2 years. The only thing that is guaranteed is that nothing is guaranteed. If you found this episode useful, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button, and I will see you next time.